The final days of Donald Trump's campaign have been an absolute disaster, and that is all culminating today on Election Day with huge turnout numbers in the most important swing states, indicating that Kamala Harris could potentially be taking this thing by a bigger margin than we expected. But of course, we don't want to get ahead of ourselves. But what is contributing to those huge turnout numbers, which are terrifying Donald Trump and his campaign, is a post made by one specific individual who's really been bothering Donald Trump this entire race, and that is Taylor Swift, who posted on social media to her hundreds of millions of followers, the many dedicated Swifties, and it is driving Donald Trump crazy, and we're going to get into all of that. But before we do, if I could quickly ask you to leave a like on this video, and if you haven't already, to hit that subscribe button. It goes a long way, and it really means the world to me. Now, before we get into what Taylor Swift posted and why it is upsetting Donald Trump so much, I think we need to look back on this whole Taylor Swift Republican back and forth throughout the entire election with a couple of clips from Fox right here.
We have had enough of Taylor Swift for now.
She shouldn't be liberal. She should be a total conservative, given everything.
The Pentagon PSYOP unit pitched NATO on turning Taylor Swift into an asset.
Yesterday, she flew private from New York City to Baltimore. Yet she constantly talks about climate change. So just please don't believe everything Taylor Swift says. We're all begging you.
I think she should just stick to her singing and let her love life be what it is.
The New York Times just speculated she's a lesbian.
A new poll shows 18% of voters are likely to vote for whichever candidate Taylor Swift endorses.
Biden effectively has Taylor Swift as his VP.
A single post of hers led to 35,000 new registrants. That's arguably more power than the president.
She's sharing links. And her boyfriend, Travis Kelce, sponsored by Pfizer.
What's her stance on policy, economic policy, foreign policy?
I don't think that'll be.
So don't get involved. Don't get involved in politics. We don't want to see you there.
Republicans have been driven so crazy by Taylor Swift and the incredible support she has given to advocacy for voter registration, for participating in our democracy, and really just advocating on behalf of the most basic and fundamental rights and civil liberties. Taylor Swift has been standing up for LGBTQ plus issues, abortion rights. Taylor Swift has been doing what any normal person with a sense of heart. Republicans have been driven so crazy by Taylor Swift for so long. And why? Because she stands up for the right to vote? Because Republicans have been driven so crazy by Taylor Swift for so long, and especially in this election. And it's because she is encouraging her followers to vote. It's because she is standing up for a woman's right to choose. It's because she is defending LGBTQIA plus rights. And it drives them crazy that she advocates on behalf of the issues that mean so much to her and are fundamental to our values as Americans. But of course, Fox can't take that, and so they lash out. And it's not just them, of course. We know that there's a bit of a relationship between Donald Trump and Taylor Swift, certainly not in Taylor's direction towards Donald, but he has some feelings about her and said this right here.
What do you think about Taylor Swift? One of the most famous people right now.
Yeah, I think she's beautiful, very beautiful. I find her very beautiful. I think she's liberal. She probably doesn't like Trump, but I hear she's very talented, but I think she's very beautiful, actually. Unusually beautiful.
Just incredibly weird stuff. And like I said, the relationship between the two is really strange. Donald Trump, earlier in this campaign, we saw post on Truth Social that he hates Taylor Swift. That certainly didn't prove out to be really helpful for him in the days following Taylor Swift's endorsement, which of course led to tens of thousands of new voters, almost hundreds of thousands of new voters to be registered across the country, primarily young women, a demographic that certainly is not helpful to Donald Trump, and especially because of the weird ways he has talked about her and the really positive ways that Taylor Swift has been a part of the Kamala Harris campaign, like Tim Walz talking about her right here.
Two incredible senators who happen to be women. Jen Schultz, who's going to make a wonderful member of Congress. Gwen Walz, these three. Here's my life hack for all of you, all the guys out there, whatever. Here's my life hack. Surround yourself with smart women and listen to them, and you'll do just fine. You'll do just fine. That includes my fellow cat owner, Taylor Swift, too, by the way.
We are seeing a historic gender divide in this election, and it has only been made worse by Donald Trump's disgusting, false macho man rhetoric, and of course the fact that Kamala Harris wants to protect a woman's right to choose, wants to protect the reproductive freedoms, the basic freedoms that women have enjoyed over their own bodies for 50 years until Donald Trump came along and stripped them away. And that's not the only reason why Taylor Swift used her voice and said that she wanted to support Kamala Harris, that she was supporting Kamala Harris in this race. There are so many. But what I think is so important about what Taylor Swift just said, what she just posted, and what she's been talking about in this entire election is mostly she's been nonpartisan. She's been talking about getting people out to vote, getting people involved in democracy, caring about our electoral process, because that's what matters most. And so I want to take a look at the two posts from Taylor Swift driving Donald Trump so crazy, starting out first with this video right here.
So what is today? What Tuesday? What was it that everyone is supposed to do today? Was it? Oh yeah, gotta go vote today. I'm seeing a lot of underestimation of young voters and this new generation who now have the right to vote just in the last couple of years. But these are people who grew up post 9/11. They grew up with school shooting drills at their schools. These are people who want to vote. It's not enough to just want change. It's not enough to just want to vote. You have to go and make change by voting. And today is your opportunity to do that. I promise you it feels so wonderful to exercise that right that you have. And again, once you've voted, take a picture of it, tag me in your photo, #JustVoted, and I'll be looking for you. Happy voting, you guys.
These are the type of posts that get Republicans so upset, and for no reason. The encouragement of your fans to go and vote is not political, that's American. We should want to participate in our democracy. We should want as many people turning out as possible, especially young folks like myself who are turning out in historic numbers to vote for Kamala Harris. Now, of course, Donald Trump doesn't like that, but my generation certainly does. And Taylor Swift once again made another call to action last night on Instagram with this post right here. Taylor Swift wrote in a post on Instagram, "Couldn't have asked for a more magical way to end our U.S. shows on the Eras Tour. Just had the time of my life with 207,000 beautiful people in Indianapolis who showered us with so much love and excitement and joy. I'll know I'll be looking back on this weekend and smiling because it was just like a dreamscape, all of it. Thank you to everyone who came out to see our last 3 American shows. And here's a friendly but extremely important reminder that tomorrow is the U.S. election and your last chance to vote." Once again, this is not political. This is not partisan. This is American, encouraging people to vote, and it drives Republicans crazy. Because how do they talk about elections? Well, just listen to Donald Trump.
It should never happen. A thing like that should never happen. This election should be over. They spend all this money on machines. And frankly, if they'd use paper ballots, it would be over by 10 o'clock. And by the way, the paper ballots would cost 8%. It would be 8% of the cost. If they would use paper ballots, voter ID, proof of citizenship, and one-day voting, it would all be over by 10 o'clock in the evening. It's crazy. They use these very expensive computers, and I'm hearing in Pennsylvania they won't have an answer till 2 or 3 days from now. I think it's an absolute outrage if that's the case. Now, maybe it'll be later, but it's paper ballots in France. They went paper ballots because the mail-in was not working. It was corrupt. And in France, they went paper ballots. And at 10 o'clock in the evening, they had 37 million votes counted and done. They had a winner, they had a loser. And in this country, I mean, I'm just hearing that in certain states, it's going to be a long time. And
Republicans are furious at Taylor Swift for telling her hundreds of millions of fans to participate in the political process, to get involved, to make change for themselves. And Republicans are fine that Donald Trump wants to attack all of our elections that he doesn't win, only attack elections if he doesn't win. Yeah, a little bit of a difference there. But I think what is so important is the contrast that we can see in the closing message of these campaigns in the final hours of Election Day. Let's listen to Kamala Harris right here.
We are the promise of America. We are the promise of America. I see its promise in the fathers and the mothers and the grandparents across our nation who work so hard every day for our children's future. I see it in the women who refuse to accept a future without reproductive freedom, and in the men who support them. I see it in people of all ages who have knocked on doors, made calls, sent texts, and who will spend tomorrow driving their fellow Americans to the polls. I see it in Republicans who have never voted for a Democrat before, but who put the Constitution of the United States above party. And I see the promise of America in all the young leaders who are voting for the very first time. Where are you? I know you're here. I know you're here. And you who are determined to live free from gun violence, who are determined to tackle the climate crisis, who are ready to shape the world you inherit. To you in particular, I say, I see your power, and I am so proud of you. Can we all applaud our first-time voters? So tonight I ask you one last time, are you ready to make your voices heard? Do we believe in freedom? Do we believe in opportunity? Do we believe in the promise of America? And are we ready to fight for it? And when we fight, we win. God bless you, and God bless the United States of America.
That is the winning message. That is the hopeful message. And that is the message that will deliver Kamala Harris the White House. And I cannot wait to cover that all tonight with y'all. And if you want to watch that, if you want to stick around and support us, you can hit that subscribe button. You can leave a like on this video. And if you're stuck around at the end, you can drop a blue heart in the comments. I hope to be seeing you tonight. We're going to be talking about this election for hours. Until next time, I'll see you soon.